always lose the best, and that's because the best are always working. They're always serving.
Honoring a life of service. Hundreds of people came to pay tribute to fallen Austin Police Officer Amir Abdul-Khaliq, killed in the line of duty.
If he knew that he was going to get into an accident that day and later die, he would still get dressed, come to work, and do his job that day. And that's the kind of guy he is.
I've never heard anybody say a single bad word about Amir. That man was a man that had the heart of a lion, and that fight that he fought for his life.
And today, he was laid to rest. Police Chief Art Acevedo says the 46-year-old senior police officer was the best of the Austin Police Department. He died yesterday after he was hit by a car while on his motorcycle escorting a funeral procession last Thursday. And today, we were invited inside the Islamic Center of Greater Austin, where hundreds came to mourn the husband and father of 5 children. Community leaders described how Officer Abdul-Khaliq built bridges between the police department and the Muslim community.
Especially young Muslims. He was a hero to them. He was a mentor to them. He was an example to them of the fact that the police and the community are one. And so it's a huge loss, and it's one that I think we're going to carry with us for a long time.
His service in the Marines and his 17 years in the Austin Police Department served as an example to all who knew him, including his fellow officers, who describe him as devout and devoted to the city of Austin. KXAN's Phil Prazen takes us to the ceremony and explains why a team is without one of its leaders.
When I first heard the call that an officer was down, I didn't know who it was, but it's just a call that you don't want to hear. You know, he's...
Senior Officer Chris Frierson soon found out the officer down was his friend for 15 years and role model.
He's the kind of guy that I would want to be.
He was the left tackle for running back and Senior Officer Amir Abdul-Khaliq. They played together on the Central Texas Wolfpack, a team of first responders who played around the country to raise money for charity. Frierson came to the Islamic Center of Greater Austin for Abdul-Khaliq's traditional Islamic funeral. So many came, the entire crowd could not fit in the mosque. Officers watched on as hundreds said prayers for the U.S. Marine veteran, husband, and father of 5. And Officer Frierson wasn't surprised so many showed up.
I mean, you could just see the people that are here to support him. It just shows you what kind of a man he is.
He says Amir Abdul-Khaliq loved his city and his faith, and that he impacted many people long before they came to put him to rest. Phil Prazen, KXAN News.
This evening, Officer Abdul-Khaliq is being laid to rest at the Greater Islamic Cemetery in Dale. Our crew sent back this video of the procession arriving at that cemetery, including many Austin police motorcycle officers. APD tells us they are making plans for a public memorial service, and that will likely be held on Friday. Police Chief Acevedo says after Officer Abdul-Khaliq's death, we could see some changes to the department's policy on funeral processions. Right now, he says the department uses as few officers as possible to keep costs down.
We're going to take some time to take a hard look, and it is what it is. We're either going to do them where we're not taking unnecessary risks, or we're not going to do them at all.
The chief says in the next week or two, the entire program will be under review.